morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing this morning? We're back. Miss Cynthia, thank you for so much for popping in here so faithfully, continuously. What's going on? Kendrick, God bless you. It is so good to see everybody. This week, we're going to be doing a series of talk on discover your purpose. Discover your purpose. That whole concept of understanding we all were created for a greater purpose, for a greater reason. So I want to give a shout out to all of you guys who just made a commitment. I'm not going to just live by chance. Okay, I'm not going to live by chance. No, no, no. That's not what I'm going to be about. I'm going to be intentional. Okay, I'm going to be intentional. And so this morning we're going to dive into this talk. I found it to be very, very necessary on our journey. And it's called, today we're going to focus on unlocking passion. Unlocking passion. 6 key ingredients, Kendrick. 6 key ingredients, Miss Jocelyn, for unlocking passion. First, I want to say is stop trying to discover your passion. Stop trying to discover your passion. Passion is not something you find or something you automatically have. It is something you develop. Okay, it is something you develop. Joanne, you would have discovered over the years that you are passionate about some things. And if you really lean into it, you would have identified that it was something you developed. That's one of the reasons why I often mention that if you understand that you're not a rock, that you can change, you can get up with vigor and with passion and with drive, and you remind yourself, oh man, the day is a new day, which gives me an opportunity to begin again. This is a new week, an opportunity to begin again. So this week, I want to dive into this whole discover your purpose, because there are a lot of people, Coach Deborah, there are a lot of people who are busy, but they're not purposeful. They're busy, but they're not purposeful. They're not aligned with who they are and what they should be about. So oftentimes we will hear people say, I don't know my purpose. Coach, I don't know my purpose. Well, here's what I'm going to do. This week, we're going to push and lean into what are some of the necessary ingredients for discovering purpose. This week is all about discovering purpose. Because here's the deal. Miles Monroe coined it like this: where purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. When you don't know the purpose of a thing, you increase your chances of abusing it. So I believe one of the greatest pursuit of mankind should be is to discover their purpose. Now, Kendrick, what is purpose? Purpose is the why. Purpose is the why. Write that down. Purpose is the why. Now, here's the deal. Everything ought to have a why. Everything, Megs, everything on your journey, you do nothing by accident. Everything has a why. Everything has a why. And it all boils down to leaning into the fact that when you start to unlock passion, you start to move towards purpose. Okay, let me say that again. When you start unlocking passion, you move towards purpose. But you have to understand, passion is not something that you have or find. It is something that you develop. So the whole concept of getting better with age is built around the premise. It's built around the premise of development. Development. Okay, I wrote down a couple of things. Here's how passion is arrived in your life. And you can look back, and if you haven't leaned into these factual positions, then you could start putting some real work into this. And that is number one, accidentally beginning. You see passion accidentally beginning. You say, I just didn't know. For me, talking, I just didn't know. There are some people, they just didn't know, but they found that thing where accidentally it showed up in the kitchen. It showed up out of school. It showed up in a meeting. It showed up, and along the way, That passion starts to bring about a curious interest that triggers an unexpected experience where you start saying, had it not been for that project, had it not been for that cassette tape, had it not been for that seminar, had it not been for that speaker on the stage, had it not been for that particular book, had it not been for my mother asking me to do this, had it not been for my father. Everything has a why, but you have to now understand passion could be discovered accidentally. Okay? Passion can be discovered accidentally. And so here's the deal, don't run from your passion. There's a reason why you're passionate about it. Whatever you're passionate about, you need to know that it is more aligned with who you are. And a lot of people, unfortunately, Joanne, a lot of people, Kendrick, is that they're developing, watch this, they're developing a craft that they're not passionate about, but they're developing it because it is popular. Okay, they're developing it because it's popular. Now, if you develop what's popular but not passionate about what you're developing, what will happen is after a while, you're going to let it go. Minister Carol, you have seen people who were passionate about something that they gave their attention to only to find out at the base of their passion was that it was comparison. It was popularity had them excited and interested. But the thing that really aligns with your purpose is that it doesn't go anywhere. Purpose doesn't go anywhere. Purpose is a part of who you are. What you're purposely created to do is in you. Okay? What's your purpose? But you have to be willing to develop yourself in the areas of your interest. Write that down. I have to develop myself in the areas of my interest. I have a knack for this. How many of y'all have ever heard that statement before? He has a knack for this. And that's why you will hear number 2, you will hear encouragement along the way. Encouragement matters. Initially, you will find yourself doing something. You'll find yourself doing something, but multiple experiences and encouragement from parents and mentors and coaches will play a vital role in solidifying your passion over time. Okay? Guidance helps you, and exposure brings about a catalyst of depth appreciation because you have a knack for something. And there are people who will encourage you to lean into that. Okay, lean into that. Don't focus on what's popular. Focus on what's natural. Okay, let me say that again. Don't focus on what's popular. Focus on what's natural. You would be amazed the amount of people I meet. They're running behind everything that's hot. They're running behind everything that's popular. They're running behind everything everyone else is doing. Here's the problem with that. The Bible says it this way: broad is the way that leads to death, and narrow is the way that leads to life. Somebody said, man, I can't believe, Coach, you still doing those early morning talks? You started doing those in the pandemic. How many of y'all remember I started doing these in the pandemic? I wasn't doing it because it was popular. I was doing it because I had a niche. I liked doing it. It was actually helping me. Now, here's the deal. Watch people who are teaching something that's not working for them. Okay, let me say it again. Be mindful. Watch people, and I'm not saying you can't learn from them, but watch people who they talk the talk, but they don't reflect the talk that they're talking. What I'm saying to you is your passion is connected to the natural drive that carries you daily. Okay, your passion is connected to your natural drive. So number 3 is, watch this, not all your passion is not always enjoyable because there are bumps in the road. Somebody said, well, this is real difficult. This may not be the thing that I was called to do. Not because it is difficult means it's not what you've been called to do. Every time something gets a little bit difficult, it could be, write this down, it could be growing pains. It could be growing pains, meaning you're going to have to take this where you haven't gone before. And that's uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable. And some people say, well, I've never done this before and this is really hard. Well, guess what? You had never walked before, but you eventually walked. And when you didn't walk, it was difficult to walk. You never rode a bike before, and then you rode a bike, but learning to ride the bike, you found that it was difficult. You had never learned, you had never cooked before, but when you eventually started cooking, it appeared to be difficult. You hadn't written, you hadn't used the computer, you hadn't done this, you hadn't done that, but you did not quit. You didn't quit. So your passion is not always enjoyable. You got to know pleasure is not going to be built in every day. Some days are going to be difficult. Some days are going to be hard. And so it's okay to embrace the season of work that causes you to look at something and be like, ooh, this is hard. That's okay. It's hard, but it's natural for you to do it. And some people wouldn't even try because they don't even have the makeup to do what you are doing. Next thing I want to say before we bring this to a close, it's a developed skill. It's a developed skill. Passion doesn't demand talent automatically. Some people say, you know, I've been talented. I was always good at this. I was not always a communicator. I was not always skilled in expressing myself. It's a developed skill. How many of you find yourself really good at something, but there was a time you weren't that good at it? There was a time you would claim that's not me at all. But now you have shifted that from that's not me to it's a an acquired skill, and I'm appreciative of the fact that I got past the pain, I got past the fear, and I leaned in to accepting the fact that, you know what? Look at me. I'm getting better at the thing that I feared that I could never do. I thought I would never do it. I thought I would never do it. I want to give a highlight to my friend and brother Kendrick. He referred to an interview we just did on Coach Deborah's platform. And I remember him saying, you know, I had never done that before. That's not my style. But guess what he's doing? I love it. I love his passion. I love his commitment to deciding to do the things that would bring him closer to what we call purposeful living. So my brother decided, okay, put me on. Okay. Now, this is not natural for me. This is not where I have acquired skill, but I'm okay trying it. And you keep trying at what you want to develop, and you find that your specialty in it. Before you know it, you're leaning towards mastery. Okay. Last but not least, okay, purpose amplifies. Purpose amplifies. Okay. Passion gains purpose while aligned with a higher cause. So what happens is when you align yourself with your passion, it amplifies your purpose. When you align with your passion, when you become passionate about what you do, purpose starts to show itself as the undercurrent, and you start realizing, I am good at this. As a matter of fact, I like this. As a matter of fact, I can do this day in and day out. So this week, Minister Sybil, this week we're talking about discover your purpose. We're going to lean into making sure that we're aware that what we're doing, we're working on purposeful living. We don't want to be all over the place. You don't want to be all over the place. You want to be very intentional about what you do to make the rest of your life the best of your life. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to dissect this purposeful living. Unlocking passion, that's where it starts. I'm going to start leaning towards developing a passion and a drive to align myself with all of the things that matters to me, because it's about development. Write that word down, development. This week is about development of passion, development of purpose. That's what it's all about. God bless you. I will see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye-bye. Remember, you want to develop your passion so that you can live purposefully. Bye-bye.